The country's new daily infection tally is set to be well over 300,000 new cases once again on this Thursday.
Even though South Korea saw a large number of cases on Election Day, the voting process for those infected with COVID-19 ran much more smoothly than it did in early voting. For more on this, our reporter Choi Min-jung is here in the studio with us. Good morning, Min-jung.
Good morning.
So, like always, let's start with local infections.
Mok-yeon, we're forecast to see yet another daily tally well over 300,000 cases today. From midnight to 9 p.m. Wednesday, South Korea saw more than 305,000 cases. It's around 20,000 fewer than what we saw the day before, but still the second highest reported for this time period. Figures increased 1.6-fold compared to a week ago and almost doubled compared to 2 weeks ago. Health experts say the peak phase of Korea's Omicron wave may have started on Wednesday and is set to last over the next 2 weeks, with cases hovering between 250,000 to 350,000 a day. Therefore, they say the country must prepare itself for a surge in severely ill patients at the end of March or in early April.
Now, there were a huge number of new infections on Election Day, and of course, people who had already caught COVID prior in the run-up to Election Day. But we hear that compared at least to the early voting period where there were some big mistakes which the National Election Commission had to apologize for, the voting process for those people who currently have COVID-19 was mainly more smooth sailing on Wednesday.
Right, Mark. Those with COVID-19 seem to be able to vote with relatively fewer confusion, unlike during the early voting, which happened last weekend. People with COVID-19 cast their ballots at 6 p.m. after voting for non-infected people ended, minimizing contact between them as much as possible. In some regions, though, there was confusion as some did not receive text messages notifying them of the correct time they were allowed to vote. Health experts say that although some infections may stem from polling stations, there is not much concern over a big surge, and any potential infections would only be a small portion of an already explosive spread. The National Election Commission tentatively counted 618,000 voters who voted after 6 p.m.
Now, Min-jung, let's turn over to the global situation. The chief of the World Health Organization stressed once again that it's too early to let our guards down because many countries are still struggling with COVID-19. Tell us more on that.
That's right, Mok-yeon. The WHO Director General said during a briefing on Wednesday that the pandemic is far from over even while global cases and deaths are declining. And many countries are lifting restrictions as well. He gave a reminder that many countries in Asia and the Pacific are currently facing surges in infections and deaths. China is witnessing its highest ever number of daily infections in 2 years, with cases remaining above 500 for 3 straight days. The country had been seeing under 100 cases, but figures began to increase beginning early March. Daily cases in Japan are also showing an upward trend, with cases hovering around 60,000, while deaths remain in the 200s after a peak of some 320 deaths around 2 weeks ago.
All right, Min-jung, thank you so much for your report. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Thank you.